It's Monday, the 21st of October 2019, less than a month away from the most awaited presidential election. In-house talent, in-house technology has brought to life the newest addition to the Newsfirst family, Studio R, proudly made in Sri Lanka. Now this is no ordinary studio. What do you say, Joe?
Well, Asra, I would definitely agree with you more than 100%. It's because it's a very happy day for all of us here at Newsfirst, and we are saying this because this is a result of the tears, the blood and the efforts shed by none other than all here at Newsfirst. And that is when we present to you our brand new latest HD transmitting studio, the Studio R, and we are fully geared to bring you nothing but the best.
Yes, Joel, now we here at Newsfirst lead by example, as proper leadership has guided us to achieve extraordinary things. We are of the stance that it is also important to note that the country can be guided towards greatness if there's proper leadership equipped with vision, passion and determination. This is Primetime News on TV1. We are coming to you live and direct from the Studio R here in Colombo. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Mazra Hassan.
A very good evening, I'm Joel Outscoon. Let's start off today with a look at our headlines.
Heavy rains to continue in the western, Sabaragamuwa and northwestern provinces. Sajid Premadasa presents Women's Charter, an act to ensure justice and equality. Gotabaya says the government does not have a vision, promises to prioritize national security. Hakim clarifies his fact on video footage, says no connection with Zaharan.
On to our lead story now. The Department of Meteorology announced that prevailing showers in the western, Sabaragamuwa and Wayanbu districts will continue.
The highest rainfall from 8:30 am to 3 pm today was recorded in Kirindivela. The rainfall in the area stood at 110 millimeters. Gampaha, Kegol and Ratnapura districts followed closely after. The water in the Kalaweva reservoir in Anuradhapura has reached spill level due to the heavy rainfall experienced in the water catchment areas. 2 spill gates of the Kalaweva reservoir have been opened. Water is flowing at a speed of about 3,000 cubic feet per second. Certain areas along the Toppua road was inundated after the Lunu Oya in Madampe Chilav overflowed. Our correspondent said that a number of houses were also flooded. The Chilav-Colombo road has also been inundated in several areas. Vehicular movement along the Mena-Putlam road was interrupted after the road was inundated. An office of the Wildlife Department located close to the entrance of the Vilpattu Forest Reserve was also inundated. According to our correspondent, a naval base located in close proximity is also at the risk of being flooded. Meanwhile, heavy downpours flooded several areas in Colombo, including Kotahena and Kochikade. This resulted in heavy traffic congestion in these areas. Reservoirs in Valimada and surrounding areas have reached spill level. The Gaul-Vakvalla road was inundated opposite the Vidyaloka Vidyalaya after heavy rains battered Gaul this afternoon. 2 flights from Saudi Arabia were diverted from the Bandaranaike International Airport to the Mattala Airport due to the inclement weather. Our correspondent said that the flights arrived at the Bandaranaike International Airport after the inclement weather conditions had passed.
Let's now take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow.
Well, with that, it's time for us to head on to a short commercial break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You are watching Primetime News live from our brand new Studio R.
Continuing in more local news, now the presidential candidate of the New Democratic Front, Sajith Premadasa, presented a women's charter in Colombo today.
Sajith Premadasa was joined by his mother Hema Premadasa at the event that took place at the Sugadasa Indoor Stadium earlier on today. The charter was signed by Sajith Premadasa, focuses on the areas of securing women's rights and equality and justice.
பெண்கள் உரிமை தொடர்பான அந்த ஒப்பந்தம் தற்போது
වේදිකාවට අනාගත ජනාධිපතිතුමනි රටේ ජනතාවගේ මේ අත්පොළ සන්නාදයත් එක්ක
Sajith Premadasa.
එලි දැක්වෙන කාන්තා ප්‍රඥප්තිය.
The essence of this women's charter is equality and justice. I pledge to remove all differences among women regardless of race, caste, marital status, language, motherhood, economic background or anything else. I would like to announce that we will take steps to enact this charter into law within 3 months of my ascending to office. I would like to add that I will establish an independent commission in this regard within a week of me accepting office. We will also work to empower women in agriculture, while also developing systems to provide aid and helping engage in self-employment. We will also work to provide daycare facilities to all those involved in state sector jobs. Some lose jobs because of motherhood. We will take steps to enforce laws against such persons while also providing those who lose jobs with new jobs. We will find ways to ensure that families and women affected by the war families headed by women among others, will be taken care of. Once I become the president on the 16th, I promise to write off financial debt of all women across the board. I would also like to state that I will appoint a presidential task force to look into women's rights and will also place officers at divisional secretariat level so as to put these pledges into action. I also pledged not to issue any permits for wine stores. I will also work to close all wine stores in close proximity to schools.
අලුතෙන් කිසිම දවසක ලබා දෙන්නේ නැtei කියලා මම ප්‍රකාශ කරනවා. පාසල් ආසන්නයේ තිබෙන සියලුම වයින් ස්ටෝර්ස් වසා දමන්නට මම අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම කටයුතු කරනවා.
අපි අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම
We will definitely win, exceeding 52% of the vote. Some say that Gotabaya should be given the country to guarantee security. A man who left the country to live a luxurious life overseas when he was protecting the nation returned once his brother became the Prime Minister.
එතුමාට ආරක්ෂක ලේකම්කම බාර ගන්න පහුවෙනිදම ද්විත්ව පුරවැසි භාවය ගන්න පෝරුම පුරවල දැම්මා. මේ තරම්
I would like to remind you that no president in the history of this country has known the value of a mother like he has. He is a son who takes care of Hema Premadasa like she is a child. We have brought to you a son who has committed greatly to take care of his mother. He is committed to take care of his wife and to protect her dignity. By the 17th, we will see the appointment of a son who treats his mother with greatest dignity and respect.
කටයුතු කරන ජනාධිපතිවරයෙක් 17 වෙනිදාට එළි වෙනකොට මේ රටේ පත් වෙනවයි කියන එක අපි මේ අවස්ථාවේ මතක් කරනවා. 2015ට ඉස්සෙල්ලා
When you look at the actions of the leaders before 2015, there was no clear respect afforded to women. In our leader, we all saw those qualities, so we thought that he is the most suited to be our president. Today, we have a very simple man who knows the poor man well. It is an honest leader that has come before us.
නායකයෙක් අද අපිට ඉදිරිපත් වෙලා ඉන්නවා.
While a women's charter was signed on this occasion, it must also be noted that this is the first time that a presidential candidate has made a commitment of this nature.
Presidential candidate of the Sri Lanka Podu Jana Peramuna, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, attended several rallies in the Hambantota district today.
Gotabaya Rajapaksa was warmly welcomed during the rally held in Beliyata town this morning.
They think the people of this country can be fooled. They fooled everyone in 2015. You elect a government to govern the country for a period of 5 years. Who comes to power does not have the right to take away the rights of the future generation. They have no rights to own or sell their property, especially to foreigners. This is what was done by the present government. Therefore, they have no right to request for votes.
The present cabinet has no understanding about national security. I must remind all of you, only a team with a clear vision about national security, a team such as ours who ended the war, can make this country safe again. After the present government came into power, they stopped all projects that we started. The businesses, entrepreneurs, contractors, subcontractors and suppliers who were part of these jobs lost their jobs, and the sector lost nearly 400,000 jobs. They were unable to rebuild the economy after that. Since they did not have an efficient team, Sri Lanka fell victim to its current desperate situation. We have a clear plan to rebuild our economy. Presidential candidate Gotabaya Rajapaksa subsequently attended a rally in Ranna. A group of UNPS pledged their support to Gotabaya Rajapaksa during the rally. In the recent past, the media expressed various views as to who the SLFP was supporting. At every point, I met Mahinda Rajapaksa. I told him that our political journey commenced with the Rajapaksas a long time ago. Therefore, we will not work against the Rajapaksas. I told him I will extend my support to him anytime. However, he said there was no point in joining him alone. He said our ancestral home is the SLFP and this collaboration must take place with the party. Accordingly, we held discussions. Our intention was to join both parties on behalf of Gotabaya Rajapaksa. We went through his program. Today, it is not just the SLFP that joined Gotabaya Rajapaksa, but the entire voter base of 1.4 million that vote for the SLFP. We do not need anyone to protect the SLFP. We are there to protect it. During our government, after the war concluded, we had established a separate unit to monitor extremist terrorism. We had trained officers of intelligence units for this purpose. However, the government had transferred these officers to other positions. They dismantled the special unit we established. This was the reason the government failed to act and prevent the April attacks, even after receiving intel about the attack from foreign intelligence units. Even after 6 months, a proper national security plan has not been put in place. This is a government with no clear vision.
The economic policy of the National People's Power Movement was unveiled by the presidential candidate Anurukumara Dissanayake.
The economic policy, which was presented at the Colombo Foundation Institute, has been compiled by economic analysts and representatives from civil society organizations. We know that the USA Embassy has a lot of work in store for our country. They have to solve the issue that occurred inside our parties. They have to appoint people who select the leaders. They have to impose laws in order to station their military. Can our ambassadors find that kind of work in any other country? Actually, our ambassadors are merchants sent on a mission. Check an ambassador's diary to any country. They attend dinners every night. Our country has about 270,000 income tax files. That is a very small amount. Scrolling through the pages of these 270,000 income tax files is called presenting the budget. We are of the view that at least 500,000 income tax files should be created in our country. The media should report this with caution. We do not mean to say to impose taxes on everyone. We have to create a generation of small and medium scale entrepreneurs. We have to rejuvenate the small and medium scale entrepreneurs. Two economic policies are being talked of on the political stage. One is for the poor. We are not creating an economy for the poor. We are creating a developing economy.
Presidential candidate General Mahesh Sinanayake spoke about the past governments in Pandaravilla today.
General Mahesh Sinanayake convened a special meeting of the National People's Party today. Following the meeting, the presidential candidate expressed the following views to the media. The main two political parties governed this country alternatively for 71 years and made the general public poor. What happened? They divided all of us, made us poor, and now ask us to elect them to power again. Join our party to save this country from politics and politicians. This is some form of terrorism. Only the wise and intelligent can make this change. We have come forward to save this country from the current political culture and to go forward with a fresh start.
We'll
be back after this short commercial break.
Stay tuned.
Ranjan's Act.
November 16th. Sri Lankans know it as the day of the presidential election. The world knows it as the International Day of Tolerance and Peace. On the 16th of November 1995, UNESCO adopted the Declaration of Principles of Tolerance. It is a day to show respect and appreciation for world cultures, different forms of expression and ways of being human. Tolerance recognizes the universal human rights and fundamental freedom of others. People are naturally diverse. Only tolerance can ensure the survival of mixed communities in every region of the globe. Education about tolerance should develop capacities for independent judgment, critical thinking, ethical reasoning. Tolerance requires law. Tolerance requires education. Tolerance requires access to information. Tolerance requires individual awareness. November 16th, World Tolerance Day.
Welcome back. You are watching Primetime News.
For the first time in Sri Lanka, we are broadcasting live via the mobile cam. The footage that you're witnessing right now is being broadcasted via a mobile phone.
Moving on, more news this evening now. Sajith Premadasa's faction today issued an open invitation to Gotabaya Rajapaksa to attend a debate.
We can see that a certain group is slinging mud at Sajith Premadasa. In recent times, we see various posts insulting Sajith Premadasa being published on social media. We are extremely saddened by this because Sajith Premadasa is one of the most successful ministers in the recent past. We can proudly say that he is a minister who fulfilled his duties to the fullest at the Ministry of Housing and Construction. Some say that Sajith Premadasa only knows how to construct houses, but they have forgotten that he was only handed over the responsibility to do that. He made his portfolio that required him to construct houses in the country a topic of discussion in the country. We are ready to debate with Gotabaya Rajapaksa on policy issues at any time. We will conduct this debate for only one reason, which is to discuss on how we can develop this country. How can we protect the rule of law in the country? How do we look into the future? These are the policy issues. We are not going to sling mud at each other at the debate. So Sajith Premadasa is ready to face Gotabaya Rajapaksa at a debate at any time. A public debate.
This country does not need politics based on slinging mud. This country needs policy-based politics. A debate on policy. On the 25th of this month, the manifesto of Gotabaya Rajapaksa will be presented and the manifesto of Sajith Premadasa will also be presented. As a campaign representative of Sajith Premadasa, we invite Gotabaya Rajapaksa to attend an independent and open debate conducted as per the American model. Not only one debate, we can conduct 3 debates in the 3 weeks ahead. That is the American model. The host is an independent host. The environment is a neutral environment. And all of the leading media institutions in the country broadcast this debate. Both candidates will get a fair opportunity. A neutral committee collectively agreed by both parties will moderate the debate. I think that is the best time to host a debate on policy.
During a meeting held in Ridiyagama Ambalanthota yesterday, leader of the opposition, Mahinda Rajapaksa, made the following statement regarding votes in the north.
Sunday routine, whether you like Pino, Emat, Tino, Pino, Matalan Tamadunine on this. Exaggerate vaccine, Yala Sayo within 1 year. Yala Sayo within 1 year on this world. The Queen of Rata Medan Nabi the Yanine, Yala Kundis, Yatagan, Kaman and Mata, you know what to do.
Well, these were the views expressed by Sajith Premadasa's faction in response to accusations regarding various agreements.
I have some suspicion that Namal Rajapaksa refrains from engaging in politics in the south due to several issues that arose in that province. Therefore, Namal Rajapaksa was sent to the north. The general public must be informed of this puzzle.
Well, now those were the views expressed by Venerable Bhatramule Silaratnathero.
Now, these were the views expressed by Sajid Premadasa's faction in response to accusations regarding agreements.
Leaders of the Tamil parties have held discussions on our level. We clearly told them we will not accept the conditions they presented. We said, against such conditions, we do not want your votes. It's very clear. We will obtain the votes of the entire Tamil community based in the northern and eastern provinces.
Well, now, while the Podujana Peramuna at a media briefing held today gave a breakdown of their voters, the New Democratic Front to explain their voter base.
We are very certain that Gotabaya Rajapaksa can get 70% of votes from the Sinhala community. But he is not only representing this sector. He is the common man's candidate who is representing the entire country. Leaders from the north like Douglas Devananda, Angajan Ramanathan and Ananda Sagare are standing with him. Then we have leaders from the east representing the Muslim community. Ataullah Bashir Shegudawood and my own Mustafa have joined hands with him. Also leaders representing the Tamil community including Vilayendran Pillayan and Karuna Amman are with him. From the hill country, Tondaman and the Sri Lanka Workers' Congress have pledged their support to him. And when you take all of this into consideration, it is very clear that on the 16th of November, Gotabaya Rajapaksa will win the presidential election with a percentage that no other candidate has ever gotten in the history of this country. I can say with much certainty that we will win this election. I am making this statement after going through the statistics. The maximum amount of votes that Gotabaya Rajapaksa could get from the Tamil and Muslim communities is about 25%. When you take that into consideration, there are 4 Tamil and Muslim political parties. That is 800,000. When you take 800,000 out of 6.4 million, that is 5.4 million. So if they get 80% of the Sinhala community votes, it is 9 million. 5.4 million of 9 million is 62%. Do you really think in this very tight race the UNP will lose in this manner? No. It is impossible for Gotabaya Rajapaksa to get 62% of the votes from the Sinhala community. That is why the victory is on the side of the UNP. This is a fact. There is no use in debating over this. We have to take over 80% of the voters to the polling stations. That is what we have to do.
Video footage of a meeting that allegedly took place between Minister Rauf Hakim and suicide bomber who staged the April 21st attacks, Zaharan Hashim, has been published. Presidential candidate MLAM Hizbullah spoke about this at a meeting held in Eravur today.
Minister Rauf Hakim is continuing to lie. He does not have to lie like this and create problems. He does not have to lie saying that Basil Rajapaksa and myself released that video. When he sat in the Parliamentary Select Committee and questioned me, I had all of this footage on my laptop.
Leader of the Sri Lanka Muslim Congress, Rauf Hakim, expressed his views on the matter at a meeting in Kandy today.
If you watch this video on electronic media, you can see that it was taken in 2015. A video showing Zaharan following me and coming into the same place I was is being shared. And they now try to weave a story out of this. I make this very clear. As a party representing the Muslim community in Kathankudi, we had the opportunity to secure a seat in the previous general election. During the previous presidential election, Hizbullah supported Mahinda Rajapaksa. When they lost the presidential election, he lost the parliamentary election. After his defeat, Hizbullah secured a place in the national list through our presidency Sena. After entering the national list, he started to burn our shops and houses. I had to then visit Kathankudi to attend to my party supporters. Now, Zaharan also crept into the scene. What can I do about this? When he extends his hand, I extend my hands too. How were we supposed to know that he will become a terrorist in the future? Recently, I made a speech in Kathankudi against Hizbullah. I informed the general public that Hizbullah, who claims he is representing the Muslim community, is nothing but a puppet of the Rajapaksas.
Here are some of the views expressed in the political arena.
We would like to say that Sajid Premadasa has signed agreements with the TNA.
If you go to the Rajapaksas and if you clean pots and pans in their houses, then you will be branded as patriots. Karuna is a patriot. Piliyan is a patriot. Tondaman is a patriot. When Rauf Hakim is with them, he is a patriot. When Rishad Bathiuddin is with them, he is a patriot. But when they are on the other side, then they are traitors. Look at how deformed the brains of these slaves have become.
මොලේ විකෘති වෙලාද කියලා. පිළිගන්නවනේ.
Today it has been 6 months since Zaharan detonated the bombs. That is the camp that pets the extremists. That is the camp that sells extremism. Only they believe those. We have no reason to strike any deals. We have been working with these parties since 2014. We formed the government with these parties. Although the members of the TNA did not accept ministerial portfolios, they worked with us through the past 5 years. Both these factions are racist. They use racism to secure their power. They entered into agreements with racists. They use racism.
A media briefing of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna attended by Chairman of the SLPP, GL Piris and MP Rohita Abegunawardena was held today.
ඒ වගේම දැන් ඔබතුමාලා තොණ්ඩමන් මහතා සමග ගිවිසුමක් අත්සන් කරා. ඒ ගිවිසුමේ අඩංගු කරුණු මේ රටට එළි දක්වන්නේ ප්‍රකාශ කරන්නේ නැතයි. ඔබතුමාලා එහෙම ප්‍රකාශ කිරීමේ බලාපොරොත්තුවක් තියෙනවද?
මේකේ කිසිම රහසක් නැහැ. ඒ වතුකරේ ජනතාවගේ සුබ සිද්ධිය සඳහා.
තොණ්ඩමන් මහතා යම්කිසි ඉල්ලීම් මොන හරි කරලා තියෙනවද?
නෑ එතුමා කිසි තර්ජනයක් හෝ ඒ විදිහේ ඉල්ලීමක් කරේ නැහැ. වතුකරේ ජනතාවට යුක්තිය ඉෂ්ට වන පරිදි අපි ක්‍රියාමාර්ගයක් සකස් කළා. ඒකේ කිසිම රහසක් නැහැ.
ඒ වගේම ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ මහත්මයා සඳහන් කිරීමක් කරනවා පාතාලයට එරිව එතුමා ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙනවා කුඩු ජාවාරම් වලට එරිව ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙනවා කියලා. ඔබතුමාලා පක්ෂයක් විදියට මරණ දඬුවම සම්බන්ධයෙන් දරන්නේ මොන වගේ මතයක්ද?
නෑ අපි මරණ දඬුවමේ අනුමත කරන්නේ නැහැ. අපි මේ පිළිබඳව මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ මහත්මයා ගැන පැහැදිලි ප්‍රකාශයක් කළා තියෙනවා.
ඒ කියන්නේ ඔබතුමාලා ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයේ නායකත්වය දරන මතයට එකඟ නැහැ කියන එක.
නෑ ඉතින් මරණීය දඬුවමේ පිළිබඳ වෙන මතයක් තියෙන්න පුළුවන් නේ දේශපාලන පක්ෂවලට. ඒක දේශපාලන කාරණයක් නෙවෙයි.
ඔබතුමාලා පාස්කු ප්‍රහාරය ගැන සඳහන් කරානේ. එජාප වේදිකාවේ දිගින් දිගටම ඇහෙන වචනයක් තමයි සහරාන්ට පඩි ගෙව්වේ ගෝඨාභය කියලා.
මේ ආණ්ඩුවට පුළුවන්.
The government is theirs, the intelligence units are theirs, the police is theirs. If all of these are under their control, and if they say that we paid Zaharan, they can prove it without just talking about it. We clearly know that our government has been acquitted from all charges leveled against us before 2015. Everyone whose cases were filed against have been acquitted. The people who filed cases against us speak over the phone of how the cases were filed and who asked them to file it. So we do not need anything else. It is clear that this government overthrew our government based on false allegations.
මේ ආණ්ඩුව බොරු චෝදනා වලින් තමයි අපේ පෞගේ ආණ්ඩුව බලෙන් ඉවත් කරේ කියන එක පැහැදිලිව පේනවා.
ಭಾರತ ලක්ෂ්මන් ප්‍රේමචන්ද්‍ර මහතාට ඝාතනය කිරීමට අනදුන්නේ ගෝඨාභය කියලා ප්‍රකාශයක් කරනවා.
ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ ලේකම්තුමා
ඒක മന്ത്രിවරියක් කරන්නේ.
අයත් හුවට සම්බන්ධ කෙනෙක්. එයත් හුව. එයත් බොහොම වැදගත් දෙයක් හුව කියලා පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ හුව කියපුවා අන්න වෙබ් අඩවිවල අපි දකින්න බොහොම හොඳ. එයත් හුව එක්කෙනෙක් තමයි.
එතුමා ඒක සඳහන් කරලා තිබුණේ මේ හිරුනිකා ප්‍රේමචන්ද්‍ර මහත්මිය මම හිතන්නේ සඳහන් කිරීම කරලා තිබුණේ මර්වින් සිල්වා මහත්මයා රහස් පොලිසිය හමුවේ කළ ප්‍රකාශයක එහෙම දෙයක් සටහන් වුණා කියලා.
ඔව්. ඒ නමත් හරිය හොඳ නමක්. මේ ඔක්කොම මේ එක වල්ලේ පොල්.
ඒක නඩු වාර්තාවට ගියේ නැද්ද? නඩු වාර්තාවේ ඒක තිබ්බේ නැද්ද? දැන් මේලා හින්දු දීලා තිබරනේ මේ කේස් එකේ මං කිව්වා.
Now those are the views expressed by UPFA MP Rohita Abegunawardena and Chairman of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, Professor GL Piris. In more news now, the Propaganda Secretary of the Janata Vimukti Peramuna, Vijita Herath, made the following remarks at a public rally held yesterday.
Although Gotabaya says today that they won't allow the country to be divided, in 2005, when they came into power and got the office of the president, they started off by signing the Gazette to join the north and the eastern provinces. They signed it in 2006 as well. We got a historic decision from the Supreme Court that divided the north and the eastern provinces.
If Gotabaya Rajapaksa wins the presidential election, now what will happen to the position of the Prime Minister? Supporters of the SLPP are expressing contradictory views regarding this.
As per the constitution of the country, When a new president is elected, the cabinet and the executive is dissolved. The new president should definitely appoint a new prime minister and a new cabinet of ministers. He will remove the current cabinet and form a cabinet from the members of our patriotic camp. When his brother, former President Mahinda Rajapaksa, becomes prime minister, he knows better than anyone as to how this is done.
ඔහුගේ සහෝදරයා අගමැති බවට පත් වුණාට පස්සේ ප්‍රායෝගිකව ඒක කරන්න කොහොමද කියලා හිතපු ජනාධිපති ඒ අනාගත අගමැති මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ මැතිතුමා මේ ලෝකේ කාටත් වඩා හොඳින් දන්නවා. 19 වෙනි සංශෝධනය යටතේ
Under the 19th Amendment to the Constitution, the manner in which the Prime Minister can be removed from office is clearly stated. After we win the election, we will first request Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe to resign from his position.
State Minister Ranjan Ramanayake expressed these views at a meeting held in Katana yesterday.
ගෝඨාභය මහත්තයා වගේ රඟපාන්න. තමුන්නාසලා ගෝඨාභය මහත්තයාගෙන් අහන්න ඕන ප්‍රශ්න මගෙන් අහන්න. එහෙනම් කවුරු හරි දෙන්න ගෝඨා වගේ කණ්ණාඩියක් තියෙන කෙනෙක් මට කණ්ණාඩි මල්ලිය කණ්ණාඩි දෙන්න. ඕක දෙන්න. දැන් මං ගෝඨා ඔය කුඩේ දෙන්න මල්ලිය අරන් ගෙන වේදිකාවට එන හැටි පෙන්නන්න. කුඩේ දෙන්න. එන්න මල්ලි ගෝඨා එනවා. ඕන ප්‍රශ්නයක් අහන්න. අයියේ කියන්නකෝ අයියේ. අයියා පස්සෙන් ඉන්නවද? ඔයගොල්ලෝ දැක්කේ ඕක නෙමෙයිද? Ladies and gentlemen, what can I do for you? This is my future plans. ඔය මගුල් තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ අපේ උන්. එයා ඇමරිකන් විදියට කතා කරන්නේ. Yes, hi buddy, what's up? What can I do? I'm Gotabaya Rajapaksa. I am American citizen. ඒව හරියන්නේ නැහැ ලංකාවේ අහිංසක දුප්පත් මිනිස්සුන්ට. මොකද?
මේවා නැවත අධිකාරියට අරගෙන ඔය ගෝඨාභය මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂගේ පවුලේ අයයි අත්අඩංගුවට ගන්නවද නැද්ද කියන එකයි මම කියන්නේ.
අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම මම හිතන්නේ සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස මහත්තයාගේ ඩීල් දාන්න බෑ. කවුද අධිකරණ ඇමතුමියා හිටියේ? දැන් විජේදාස රාජපක්ෂ කියනවා එයා තමයි සේරම නඩු වාර්තා හංගලා මේ අයව හිරේ දාන එක නැවැත්තුවේ කියලා. සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස මහත්මයාගේ ආණ්ඩුව යටතේ ඒ වගේ සෙල්ලම් නම් කරන්න හම්බෙන්නේ නැහැ. මෙයාට සමීප රූපයක් ගන්න විජේදාස මහත්තයෝ මෙයාට නඩු දාන්න මට නඩු 30ක් තියෙනවා. වැදගත් තොරෙක් උගත් තොරෙක් විජේදාස රාජපක්ෂ මහත්තයා උගත් තොරෙක් කියලා ජනතාව කියනවා. රංජන් රාමනායක මොකුත් කිව්වේ නැහැ.
මම කිව්වේ කියලා.
මෙයාව ෆොටෝ ගන්නකෝ මටම කැමරා හරවන්නේ මූව ගනින්නකෝ වන්. ඒක ඌ කියන්නේ මගේ මූන්ට හරවනවා. ඒතකොට උන් කියේ මමයි කිව්වේ කියලා.
Good evening to you. We are now going to talk to a presidential candidate who is running for the presidency of our country. Venerable Battaramulle Siraratna Thero, the presidential candidate of the Janasatha Peramuna. Good evening to you. First and foremost, why did you decide to run for president?
So, I hope the long journey, I want to the presidential candidate in this Sri Lanka. Because why? Any party contested this presidential election. It's not true. All the parties, they are protecting their family. They are protecting their comfortable life. But they are not thinking about the poor family in Sri Lanka. They think they need to get the power. But I decide I want to make a president's candidate here. I will become a president. So all the corruption, the former president, the future coming president or the earlier president, or everybody, I don't like, because everybody corruption, not so small 5 cents and 20 cents, billion rupees. So they eat. Then I want to save Sri Lanka.
now when you take a look at the current situation, you are representing the Mahasangha. You are a monk, you are a Thero, venerable Thero of our country. Now, we have seen venerable Theros coming for politics in our country. Why would you be special?
So I make the political party, the Janasata Peramuna recognized political party. Because since I'm very young, I hope I want to make the political party. I want to contest the presidential or any political party the prior parliament election. So I hope then I decide to the presidential candidate. The Mahasangha early from long journey come to this
present state.
Because this country shaped the Mahasangha, but not other people. The Mahasangha come from very earlier to until now, save the country. So we need to protect our country. We need to save the country. No any bad thing in Sri Lanka. So now the many political party come to this time. All the political party, example, you go to the university student very innocent. University student, some political party join and they give to the problem to the, there are some many things to do. Everywhere strike. But why? Why strike? But the student want to they are in something to ask the government. So government want to decide to give this one. Government not decide to give them. They go to the strike. That is wrong. But talking and discuss of the this thing can get. But the political part, yeah.
Venerable Thero, now another very serious topic in this country is foreign intervention. The United States of America, India, China, all these countries have an interest because of where Sri Lanka is located. You have been a very vocal figure, you have been on television, on radio talking about this. What is your stance?
That is a very good point. Because this is one Sri Lanka, one nation, one voice. We no need to the United States people. We no need to the Indian people. We no need to Chinese people. We need to control our mind. Why we get advice from the United States people? Earlier from King to Sri Lanka, but never asked any advice from the other country. Advice here, he has a good advice, good knowledge. Now no need to get advice from United States or India or China. But we need to the good knowledge. We have good knowledge. Sri Lankan people good knowledge. He has a good knowledge, but he can do many things. But we no need to the other advice. But I think our president, please stop United States, please stop India, please stop China. We can do our thing. The land and everything, no need to sell.
What is your final message to the Sri Lankan voter?
I thank for about Facebook and radical things. So I thank. So everybody want to get anything in their mind. So I hope. So I ask from any people. So my symbol is tractor here. So you need to get vote. Please give me a vote and give me a chance to be the president this time. Everything I protect. I save my country. One law and one country, one nation.
One law, one country and one nation. This is presidential candidate of the Janaseta Peramuna, Venerable Battaramulle Seelaratana Thera.
According to the data released by the central bank, Sri Lanka's nationwide inflation hit a high of 5% in September 2019, the highest in almost 2 years. Now, the monthly increases of prices of items in both food and non-food categories contributed to this increase, as reflected in the year-on-year food and non-food inflation recording 4.9% and 5.1% respectively in September 2019.
President's diary this evening. Now, President Maithripala Sirisena left to Japan this morning to attend the enthronement ceremony of His Majesty the Emperor Naruhito. On an invitation extended by the Japanese government, the President will join several world leaders for the ceremony tomorrow at the State Hall of the Imperial Palace in Tokyo.
Following the ceremony, the new emperor will host a banquet for the heads of state, the Secretary General of the United Nations, representatives of the European Union, heads of each foreign mission in Tokyo and several other invitees. The visiting dignitaries will join a banquet hosted by the Prime Minister of Japan Shinzo Abe on the 23rd of October.
Well, on that note, we bring to close this edition of Primetime News. Hope you had a wonderful experience from our brand new studios where we transmitted to you HD technology this evening. And also here's reminding you that you could keep abreast of the latest and trending stories from our award-winning website, that is www.newsfirst.lk. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Joel Outscourt.
And I'm Azra Hassan. Thank you for joining us. Take care and good night.
Good night.